Hey guys, it's Steven here and welcome back to another gaming peripheral review, and today we're going to have a look at the COUGAR 550M gaming mouse. Now yesterday we just checked out the COUGAR 300M, which you can see right over here, and I was quite happy with the performance, so a very decent gaming mouse for the low price, but I wasn't so happy with the design. Now I like fancy stuff and my gaming rig also looks kind of fancy, so I like to have also a fancy keyboard and mouse. And well, this is why I actually prefer the COUGAR 550M, and it retails now for the same price on UIX.com, so there's a link down below in the description if you're interested. And now I would say let's get directly started and let's have a look at the specs of this mouse here. Now well, for $39.99 you actually get some quite decent specs. Not so far away from the 300M, but quite different. Now regarding the sensor, it's now an SDNS3988 optical gaming sensor with a resolution from 50 up to 6400 dpi. Now regarding the game type, they say it's for first-person shooters, MMORPGs, MOBAs, RTS, whatever, but I wouldn't buy a mouse just because it says it's for that on the package. It really comes down to personal preference, so if you like the mouse, if it feels good in your hand. And for my big hands, the 550M feels better than the 300M, but I'm right-handed and I think with the left hand it would just feel awkward, so right-handed mouse. Okay, polling rate, it's 1000 Hz, 1 millisecond, and the onboard memory 512 kilobytes, so to store all the profiles. Now the software, it's just the same like on the 300M, and it's the COUGAR UIX System. I will show you that later. We have 6 programmable buttons, and it's not really much. So actually there are some gaming mice with 9 buttons in the same price range. Now if you prefer more buttons, then you should go for a different mouse. But it also has Omron gaming switches. That means you can actually press the button 5 million times, so the click cycle is really long, and Omron gaming switches are usually very good. Now we have LED backlight, 2 zones, and 16.8 million colors. I will show you that later, so it looks way better than on the 300M. The frame rate, maximum 12,500 FPS, maximum tracking speed, so if you're into all that specs, 200 IPS, and the maximum acceleration 50G. The USB connector, it's gold plated, and the cable, it comes out of a cable tube, looks a bit strange, we'll show you that just in a second. It's 1.8 meters long and braided, and the weight, it's 120 grams, and you cannot adjust the weight. That's the only downside, because I really like to tweak around with the weights, and here there are no additional weights or weights to take out, so yeah, 120 grams all the time. Alright, that is specs, and yeah, it looks quite decent for $39.99, and now I would say let's have a closer look at the mouse. So guys, here's the COUGAR 550M, and let's have a closer look at the mouse. And well, if you have a look here at the top side, then you can see it's blue, so that's the metallic blue edition. And well, the coating, so the color here looks really a little bit like it would be metal, so some nice surface, and it's also very smooth. Now it's hard plastic, but the coating here, now they call it pro gaming, whatever, some marketing thing, but it feels really kind of smooth. Here we have the COUGAR logo, and let's stay here on the top. So here we have the DPI switch, or the trigger button. Now well, it's kind of strange to press the button because you have to slide it back. You cannot press it, you have to slide it back in your direction. Now that's not really the best solution, because if you're gaming and you want to press the button, so what do you have to do? You have to release the buttons and pull back the damn trigger button, and you lose time, so you cannot somehow just move a finger and quickly press it, so you have to slide it back. And yeah, it looks nice and it feels nice to do that. I mean, I could do that all day long, but somehow it's strange, so it's just some kind of new design. Now also here at the top we have the mouse wheel, and yeah, it's rubberized, as you can see, pretty big. It's some gaming grade mouse wheel, and yeah, it feels way better than on the 300M, so it's not that soft, it's actually more hard rubber, and it feels way better to me. Okay, that's basically the top. Then here on the side panels you can see we have here some pattern, looks from far away a bit like carbon or whatever, but yeah, just some pattern. And you see it's some ergonomic design for right-handed people. I tried to use it with my left hand, it's impossible for me. Now we have the back button and the forward button, but basically you can reconfigure or rebind every button on that gaming mouse. That's the cool thing about the software suite. It's easy to use in my opinion, and you can really rebind everything, also switch between the profiles with one click. Okay, what you will see here, now here are 3 lines or slots or whatever you want to call that, and basically in there you have some LEDs for LED backlight, and that can light up in 16.8 million colors, so basically you can mix everything with the RGB color changer. Now here on the back there's the second LED backlight zone, and as you can see there's some LED ring which goes here also a little bit up, and basically you can choose here 1 out of 16.8 million colors to have here some nice LED backlight. Looks really cool when you're playing at night, and I think it's a nice thing. And I will later show you how to configure that in the software suite. Now here's the opposite side panel, and well, as you can see it's not straight, so it's a bit curved and some nice ergonomic design, but only for right-handed people. Now if you're left-handed, I wouldn't recommend this mouse at all, so really only right-handed people. Now here's the front of the 550M, and well, as you can see we have here sharp edges, and yeah, the front looks like something from Star Wars, maybe a spaceship or whatever, so some very fancy design. And we have here those two orange metal plates, and yeah, you can also buy the black version, but the metal plates here, they will remain in orange. Now there's no cover for the mouse wheel, as you can see. Now the buttons, they feel pretty good to press, and have to say the mouse is very responsive, absolutely no lag, so 1 millisecond response time. Very, very nice so far. And well, yeah, you have to like the design. Looks very sharp edged here, but I really like it, so I like fancy stuff, and that's why I like this mouse here more than the 300M. Now also here in the front we have that cable tube, so you can see it comes out of the device. Now yeah, you cannot slide it back in, or it has actually the only function for better cable management, and you see the cable is very straight, so you don't break your cable so easily. And that's actually a very nice thing, so I like it, but looks kind of strange, like a bazooka coming out of the mouse. And here just a quick look at the USB connector. So well, as you can see it's gold plated, and we have here that fat plastic thing around it with the COUGAR logo. So here's the bottom side of the 550M, and nothing fancy so far. So here the sensor, sticker with the specifications, and here we have gaming mouse feet. So Teflon or something like that feels really smooth, and also for gliding pretty good. On the mouse pad or here on the glass table, absolutely no issues so far, and doesn't wear off too fast. Now I'm using the mouse here for 3 days and still looks like new, and yeah, it should after 3 days. Okay, that's basically it, and now I would say let's connect the mouse to the computer and let's see how it performs. So guys, there we go, the mouse is now connected to my computer, and actually I just want to show you the LED backlight feature. Well, so here on the left side we have 3 LED bars, and you can basically set them to breathing, and what you will see is that they flash from time to time. So well, as you can see, they're now off, then it turns on again. But you can also choose fully lighted, so basically like this, it lights up all the time. Now if you press here the DPI switch button or the trigger button, then you see you can switch here between the bars. So for instance, low DPI 1 bar, mid DPI or high DPI here 3 bars. Looks really cool, and you can also change the color. For instance, if you want to have it in pink, there you go. I'm now applying the settings, and here we have pink. And you can mix every color you want to here in the color changer. Now let's try blue. Okay, so here's blue. We also have yellow here. And there we go. And well, that looks really nice, but I somehow prefer pink. No homo, guys. Alright, looks really kinda nice. And if you press the button, you see you can switch here between the bars, so you always know on which DPI level you're currently, or you can also use it for other things. Now well, then here we have the second LED backlight zone. So it's here at the back of the device, and basically you can choose breathing here too. Then it looks like this. So it's now applying the settings, so yeah, it flashes and it's pulsating. We can also choose fully lighted, or you can even switch it off if you want to, but I think everyone wants to have LED backlight because this is so popular right now. Now let's set it to green, and there we go. Yeah, sometimes some of the colors look a little bit different than on the computer. This is because of the mixer, so it's not too accurate. Now the LEDs, they can produce a lot of colors, but you really have to play around with the mixer to get the right color tone you want to have. And sometimes also if you change the mixer, then the new color tone doesn't look really different. But you can really have a lot of colors. Then now I want to show you how white looks like on both. And white is kind of strange. It does not look so white, it actually looks like a mix mix of the colors, and it's a bit bluish. But so far so good. This is because, well, it basically mixes all the light, and so far I have to say I like the LED backlight, and I really like that it's customizable. But what you can't do is, like, you can't have different colors on each bar here. So you can just change the backlight for all the bars, and you cannot have a green bar, a red bar, and a pink bar, whatever. But it looks kind of nice, and it's fully customizable. So if you have, for instance, blue LED backlight on your notebook, then just set it to blue, and this will just look fucking awesome. Alright, so that's the LED backlight, and then now let's go to the computer so I can quickly show you the software suite. Alright, so we're now here on the computer, and now let me show you the COUGAR software suite. So I already had the COUGAR software suite on my computer for the 300M, but I wasn't able to use it with the 550 because you have to install a new software. Basically, you have a COUGAR software suite for each COUGAR model. Kinda strange, so a all-in-one software solution would be better in my opinion, but hey, who has got like 3 different COUGAR mice? Alright, so we're now here in the software suite, and if you press that button here, it opens up the website, so cougarworld.com. Here you can check out the products if you're interested in that. Then, as always, we have game profile management. That means you can create new profiles, you can import profiles. For instance, from the forum, if somebody has a nice macro for World of Warcraft or whatever, you can just say, hey, send me the file, import it here, and then you have the same macros and the same settings. As always, the mouse has onboard memory. That means you can switch between different profiles. Mode 1, Mode 2, Mode 3. You could also use the trigger button to switch here between the profiles. And what I now really like is that it's at the top, and for instance the 3 LED bars, they indicate now you're using profile 1, 2 or 3. And you don't have that on the 300M. Alright, here we have the DPI settings and all the basic settings. It's basically here under performance. What you will see is you can set the DPI. You have here now 3 levels, not only 2 like on the 300M, and you also have an XY adjustment. So you can actually adjust each axis separately, which is a cool thing, but you have to tick the box here, independent XY axis adjustment. So well, you see we have here a slider, so you can just slide here everywhere from 50 up to 6400 DPI. So just whatever you like. Now, that's actually too low for me, so I just keep it up somewhere here, and then here, and then here, like this. So that would be something I use. We also have the sniper DPI settings. For instance, if you play Battlefield, which I play a lot, then you want to have a sniper button. You press it on the mouse, and then the DPI goes very low. Then also the sensitivity is lower, and you can aim very nice. So that's a pretty cool thing, because you can't change the sensitivity on the go, but with the sniper button you can, and this is so helpful. Now the polling rate, I'll keep it here on 1000 Hz, and we also have here angle snapping, but I just keep it off for now. And also other things which you have not on the 300M, like lift height, double click speed, I think it's the same, scroll speed, and for sure also the Windows pointer speed, so you don't have to adjust it in the Windows settings. You can do that here in the software suite. And mouse acceleration can also be ticked here, or one screen at a time. Then here you have the key assignment, and as I've shown you in the last review, it's really a drag and drop system. It's so easy. You just see here which button is which thing, and if you switch here between the profiles, then you also see what other buttons you're using in different profiles. And if you want to change that, oh wow, that's too fast for me, then you can just drag and drop a button in there. For instance, you can rebind the mouse wheel up, the middle click, or mouse wheel down. So there are many possibilities, but that are just the basic things like left click, double click. That's boring. We don't want that. We want the advanced settings. And basically, you can see you can change here between the DPI. So if you don't want to use the pre-configured ones, so 1 to 3, you can have DPI up. You can cycle between the DPIs, and really nice. Then if you click the little arrow here, you also have the sniper mode. You have mode switch. You can launch a program, so you can use it as a media button. We also have here media function, just as I've said. So there are many things in there. Or you can record macros, and in order to my ass macro, but well, in order to use macros, you just create a new group, then you create a new macro, and creating a macro is very easy because you have a recorder. You don't have to code that. So you give it a name, and then you can actually start recording. So you should know what you're doing, like if you choose absolute coordinates or relative, because relative is in relation to your pointer location. And well, we can, for instance, record something. Let's just open something up here, this PC, blah blah blah, and there you go. So you just open up some random crap. You stop that, and now you have a macro which is called ASDSD. Okay, what you do now is you just hit the OK button and it's now saved, and you can now drag and drop it on a button on your mouse. So for instance, the trigger button is now that macro, and if I apply that, so there we go, and if I press that button, you see it tries to execute the macro, but you have to keep your mouse steady, and there we go. Oh well, I fucked something up with the macro, so no, don't open Origin. Yeah, you see, it works, but you really have to know what you're doing here. Last but not least, lighting control. So well, you have two zones, so lighting 1 and lighting 2. And what you can do here is you can basically mix every color you want to, and you also have your predefined colors. So the most basic ones, as I've said, white on the three stripes here looks a little bit blue, but on the bottom side the white looks really white. So that's something I really like. Okay, then here lighting 2, and this is also in full RGB color changer, so you can mix here with red, green and blue, and there are many possibilities. But sometimes also if you mix a different color, it doesn't look so different, at least to my eyes. And yeah, I like the LED backlight, and it's really nice, so you can really customize the mouse to fit your needs. And I really like that you have two zones, and this is not quite common. Sometimes you can just edit the backlight of all the LEDs, but here you have at least two zones, which is a nice thing. Alright, so we just had a look at the software suite. You see it's very easy to use. Oh, almost 6 minutes. I don't want to bore you with this shit, but I think I've now shown you how that thing here works and what you can do, and this is very important for me. So guys, now let's continue, and I will now tell you my feedback about this device here. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here at the end of this review, and here comes my final conclusion about the 550M. So what I liked about it, it's lightweight. Now unfortunately you cannot tweak the weight, so there are no additional weights. That's something which sucks, but a lightweight mouse is good for me. Then great clicking action. Now if you press the buttons, this feels very good. The armor on gaming switches, definitely nice. I like the cable tube and also the rugged cable, so it doesn't break so fast, and it fits my right hand pretty good, but for left-handed people I wouldn't recommend it. Now the only bad thing is that the buttons are very limited. You have 6 buttons and they are customizable, but it would be nice to have some additional macro buttons or whatever, so you could bind things to. Now the design, yeah, it depends. For me the design is very nice, but for other people it may look a bit like crap or so, like some cheap mouse, but I like it so far. Then the button at the top, as I've said before, it's really strange because you have to slide it back and not press it. Now I don't like that so much, but it's something different and it's really cool to do that. I would like to, yeah, trigger that all the time because it feels just like the trigger of a gun. Then the software suite, that's actually a pro for me too, because the software suite is easy to use and drag and drop sometimes and explains everything pretty well. So far I'm really happy with the software suite, but I wish that this mouse here would be for left and right-handed people and with more macro buttons. But for my right hand it feels pretty good, and I'm okay with the buttons since I do not play MMORPGs with a lot of macros or whatever. So I usually play first-person shooters, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, and I have the macros on my keyboard, so I don't really care about all that macro thingy. Alright guys, now that was my full review of the 550M. Thank you again so much for watching, and regarding gaming, we'll do an Until Dawn Let's Play on the PlayStation 4 with a couple of friends, couple of beers, maybe tits, I don't know, maybe we can get some girls into that, would be really awesome. But well, also Minecraft will start soon when university starts again, because then I have some time to do that. Actually not, but I will do it anyway. And yeah, I will use that mouse so far until I get something different, but I really like it. Now I have a lot of mice here, and the 550M feels definitely the best one with the Logitech G502. The 300M is not really my first choice, but it's also a quite decent mouse, so have a look at that too. Alright guys, now thank you so much for watching, have a nice day and bye bye, see ya!